RFK's speech had a lot more detail and a lot more kind of depth into it in terms of Bitcoin. I think he's been orange pilled harder, if you catch my meaning there. And Donald Trump came in, he got the executive summary and hit a few points. And it's good. It's great, because he is Donald Trump, and there's going to be a lot of impact on it. We can't ask for more. But if you're just saying, analyzing it, let's say word for word, note for note, I'd have to say RFK, seems to get it more.
Mm-hmm. I would say underwhelming. Trump's speech was very underwhelming, and I expected more, to be totally honest. And from as much as you can expect from a politician, I expected a lot more. So I think you nailed it. That's exactly. I know a lot of people here too. I just talked to a lot of people. So what do you think it means, I guess, the Trump-Bukele relationship going forward? Presuming that Trump does win, which is not a guarantee, but what do you see going forward? Obviously, it's been a lot the last week or so. You've made a lot of noise. Bukele himself, Trump. Where do you see things going, though, truly, at the end of the day, if he does win, that relationship between those two countries?
The relationship between Trump and El Salvador and President Trump is excellent, and it was during his first term, and I'm sure it'll be excellent during his second term. The past week, there was some tension in the air and a bit of controversy for a couple of different reasons. I think that when President was speaking, he went off the cuff and kind of went on a sidebar and spoke extemporaneously about the situation at the border. Just in the past few days, a Salvadoran national attacked somebody in the U.S., and so this, triggered that kind of sentiment in his mind. And, he gets away with saying lots of stuff and not getting a lot of pushback. Mm-hmm. But in this case, I felt immediately that this would be an opportunity to actually push back a little. And then he doubled down and said something else, and people were like, hey, Max, you were right. This is not correct to be making these statements because they're materially wrong. They're factually incorrect. He was suggesting that El Salvador is dumping violent criminals into the U.S. That's absolutely incorrect.
They're dumping their criminals into the United States of America, and we're not going to take it anymore.
The truth is that during the Clinton administration, they were dumping gang members from Los Angeles, MS-13, into El Salvador. And that became the gang problem in El Salvador. It was exported to El Salvador from the United States. And that story, I think, needs to be refreshed, that people understand that's the true story, and that the remarkable progress that's been made by President Bukele is even that much more remarkable. Number two, to give you more context, there was CPAC, and both President Bukele and Trump spoke at CPAC, and everyone was talking about President Bukele. He was the star of CPAC. And, Donald Trump, I think, feels a little jealous that the President Bukele is really the most popular leader in the free world. He's young, he's very smart, he's dynamic, he's done absolutely fantastic things in the country. So there's a bit of rivalry there. But I think, the new administration there won't be any problems. I know that Don Jr. has been to El Salvador and met with the president. You have Matt Gaetz has been there more than once. He's actually buying property there. There's now an El Salvador caucus in Washington, D.C., which will be very active. And so I think this whole past week will be forgotten. I kind of amplified it a bit just because I thought that it would cause a little drama, which why not?
Right.
That's kind of what I'm good at anyway, like stir the pot a little bit and without getting thrown out or arrested. That's always the challenge for me, is to stay out of jail so I think that all went okay.
You have put your neck on the line over and over and over and over again. Most people will not do that, and that's a fact. But you are for so long. Why?
If you want the answer to that question right there, and you like that spicy clip, check it out here. Come on, we'll see you in there. But if you want the full interview in its entirety, all the spicy clips put together, and you're not going to want to miss it, believe me, then check that out here. Come on, we'll see you in there. Do it.